Nikola Tesla, a genius who was wronged by the world. He was ahead of his time and was left on the streets to fend for himself and backstabbed by the same people whom he trusted the most. Everybody knows the famous Nikola Tesla, who invented electricity, but only a few are aware of his tragic story. "No, he will be the child of light," were the words of Nikola's mother when the midwife said that the child would be the child of darkness. The mother's words turned out to be prophetic, and the famous Nikola Tesla went on to invent electricity. Unfortunately, on January 7, 1943, a maid found the body of 86-year-old man in the hotel room. Tesla passed away alone and broke. One of the greatest inventors of all time faded into obscurity and left the world pennilessly. Nikola Tesla was born in Croatia on July 10, 1856, and ironically his birth took place during a lightning storm. At an early age, he started having visions accompanied by flashes of light which helped him to outline the whole invention in his mind without even drawing them on a piece of paper. This was possible because of his mom, Duca Tesla, who used to invent small things for household chores and had an eidetic memory, the ability to recall an image from memory with high precision. She passed her talent to his son. Meanwhile, his father was a priest and wanted Nikola to become one too, but he followed in his mother's footsteps. The famous inventor went to Austria at the Technical College of Graz to study engineering and would work for 20 hours. Professors were worried that he would pass away because of exhaustion, but Tesla had a beautiful mind that could perform calculus and learn 8 languages. Unfortunately, he got addicted to betting and dropped out of school and used to wander around Europe, cutting ties with everybody. Suddenly, one day while sitting in the park, Nikola had a life-changing idea of generating electricity using alternating currents. However, the journey of turning his idea into reality wasn't easy. The man had to go through a lot before his greatest invention was accepted with open arms. After he dropped out of school, Nikola Tesla didn't waste his time just wandering about. Instead, he worked in the French branch of Thomas Edison's electric company. The managers of the company noticed his talents, and 2 years later he was moved to New York City with 4 cents in his pocket, which was also stolen. Tesla and Edison both began to appreciate each other's genius minds, but the mutual admiration didn't last long. Both disagreed on the new way of generating electricity. Nikola voted for alternating current while Thomas preferred direct current. In direct current, the electric charge only flows in one direction, and in alternating current electric charge changes direction periodically to avoid overpowering outlets. Their argument escalated, and they soon became bitter rivals, after which Tesla resigned from the company and set on to form his own electric company. But the investors showed little interest and took over the company along with Tesla's patents. The inventor had assigned the patents to the company in exchange for stock which was now worthless. After losing his company, Nikola had to take a job digging ditches for $2 a day just to survive. However, in 1887, his fortune changed when the genius invented an induction motor that ran on alternating currents. The motor was the most efficient way to convert electricity to mechanical power. He patented it and showcased his brainchild at the American Institute of Electrical Engineers, which caught the attention of George Westinghouse, a major player in the electric market. Soon, Tesla licensed the patents for the AC motor to Westinghouse for $60,000 and even received royalties and stocks. The battle of currents between Edison and Tesla began. The former tried hard to discredit the latter's invention and Westinghouse. To harm them, Thomas secretly financed the electric chair that used alternating current to prove how lethal AC was. Edison's company also publicly tormented animals to prove its point. But, all his brutal schemes failed. Tesla underbid Edison at the World's Columbian Exposition, and people knew that AC was the future. Their success continued, and Tesla became a pioneer in renewable energy when he built the world's first alternating current power plant in Niagara Falls. Nikola Tesla's statue can still be found today at Niagara Falls. Although they had won the battle of currents, there was one problem: the company was running out of money. Therefore, Westinghouse requested the inventor to reduce his royalty, which he gratefully did since the company had believed him and given him an opportunity. The famous inventor had visions that were way ahead of the time. He pioneered X-ray technology using radiation and invented one of the first remote control. One of his most well-known inventions is the Tesla coil, a device that can produce large amounts of high-voltage electricity. Because of the coils, he discovered he could send and receive powerful radio signals when they resonated at the same frequency. Tesla was getting ready to broadcast his first radio signal, but disaster struck. A fire destroyed his lab in 1895. He lost years of research and equipment, and as a result, he didn't apply for a patent for the radio until 2 years later. From here, the downfall of one of the greatest investors in history began, and his life led to a downhill spiral. When Nikola was working on the radio, at the same time, an Italian entrepreneur, Guglielmo Marconi, was also doing the same. Marconi was able to send the world's first transatlantic radio message in 1901 using 17 of Tesla's patents, and Edison threw his financial support behind the entrepreneur. Nikola had no problem with Marconi's invention, but when he won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1911, Tesla was furious and sued Guglielmo. The Italian's achievement was only possible due to Tesla, but he was not given any credit. The case went on for years and was settled in Tesla's favor after he passed away. That radio incident negatively impacted the rest of Tesla's career, since no one backed him financially, and everyone was interested in Guglielmo Marconi. Gradually, Nikola Tesla's mental health began to deteriorate. He was diagnosed with obsessive-compulsive disorder and was fixated on pigeons. He lived his last decade in the New Yorker hotel rent-free but had a huge debt to pay. One night, Tesla claimed the white pigeon visited him through an open window at his hotel, and he believed the bird had come to tell him he would soon pass away. Nikola's mental illness did not stop his mind from coming up with innovative ideas, and before his demise, the inventor was working on a lethal weapon that could knock off 10,000 enemy airplanes out of the sky. It is because of him that modern society functions the way it does. He did turn out to be a child of light.